My world shattered the day my husband found out about my affair. It wasn't with a person, though. It was with our horse, Starlight. Now, I know what you're thinking, but please, hear me out. This isn't the kind of story you might imagine. It was an emotional affair, a deep, profound connection that I found with this gentle giant when I felt completely lost and alone in my own marriage. It all started a few years ago. My husband, Mark, and I had been drifting apart. We were more like roommates than partners. The long silences at the dinner table were deafening. We stopped sharing our days, our dreams, our fears. He was always busy with work, and when he was home, he was emotionally distant, glued to his phone or the TV. I tried to talk to him to reconnect, but it felt like I was talking to a wall. I felt invisible, unloved, and desperately lonely. That's when Starlight came into my life. We bought him for our daughter, but she soon lost interest. So I started taking care of him. Grooming his coat, feeding him apples, taking him for long rides through the countryside. In the quiet of the stable, I found a peace I hadn't felt in years. I would talk to him, pouring out all my frustrations and sadness. He would just stand there, nuzzling my hand, his big soft eyes looking at me with what felt like pure understanding. He never judged me. He just listened. Starlight became my confidant, my secret keeper. The time I spent with him was my escape. Out on the trails, with the wind in my hair, I felt free and alive again. He was this magnificent, powerful creature, yet so gentle.
He depended on me, and in a way I started to depend on him too.
He gave me a sense of purpose and a feeling of being needed that I was missing in my life. The love I had for him was pure, a deep bond of friendship and trust. It filled a void in my heart that my marriage had left wide open. My days began to revolve around Starlight. I'd wake up early to see him and rush home from errands to spend more time at the stable. Mark started to notice. He'd make sarcastic comments like, "You love that horse more than you love me." At first, I laughed it off, but deep down, I knew there was some truth to it. I was giving Starlight the emotional energy, the affection, and the attention that I should have been giving to my husband. I was hiding in the stable, avoiding the real problems in my marriage. The day it all came crashing down, I was in the stable, crying after another cold, distant fight with Mark. I was hugging Starlight's neck, whispering how he was the only one who understood me. I told him I loved him, that he was my best friend. And that's when Mark walked in. The look on his face was a mixture of confusion, anger, and deep, deep hurt. He yelled, "You're cheating on me with a horse!" He stormed out, and the stable door slammed shut, the sound echoing the implosion of my life. His words, as ridiculous as they sounded, hit me like a ton of bricks. In his eyes, I had betrayed him. I had given my heart to someone or something else. It was an emotional affair. I had created an intimate world that he wasn't a part of. The fight that followed was the biggest we'd ever had. All the unspoken resentments, the years of neglect and loneliness, came pouring out from both of us. He accused me of being crazy, and I accused him of being emotionally absent. It was a painful, ugly confrontation, but it was also the most honest conversation we'd had in years. For the first time, we were forced to look at the gaping hole in our relationship. We realized we had both been escaping, he into his work and I into my relationship with Starlight. The horse wasn't the problem. He was a symptom of a much deeper issue. We had forgotten how to be partners, how to communicate, how to love each other. We made a decision that day. We could either let this tear us apart completely, or we could try to fix what was broken. It was terrifying, but we chose to fight for our marriage. We started going to counseling. It was incredibly difficult. We had to learn how to talk to each other again, how to be vulnerable, and how to forgive. We had to unpack years of hurt and build a new foundation, brick by painful brick. There were days I thought we wouldn't make it, but we kept showing up for ourselves and for each other. Slowly, things started to change. We started having date nights. We put our phones away at dinner. We really talked about our feelings. I learned about the pressures he was under at work, and he started to understand the depth of my loneliness. I still love Starlight, of course. He'll always have a special place in my heart. He was the gentle soul who kept me company in my darkest hours. But now Mark sometimes comes to the stable with me. He'll help me groom Starlight or just stand with us, his arm around my shoulder. Our story is a strange one, I know. But it's a story about how emotional neglect can drive people to find connection in unexpected places. It's a story about hitting rock bottom and finding the strength to climb back up together. Our marriage isn't perfect now, but it's real. It's built on honesty and a renewed commitment. And in a weird way, I have my horse to thank for that. He held up a mirror to my life and forced me to see what was truly missing. Sometimes, the wake-up call you need comes from the most unexpected place. If you're feeling lost in your own relationship, please, don't wait until it's too late. Talk to someone, seek help. You are not alone. Thank you for listening.